Welcome to Bobblehead Homestead. My name is Jeff. I have been in Arkansas almost 7 years now, raising and breeding chickens. And today's video is all the tips and tricks and my experiences letting broody hens hatch some eggs. Let's get into it. That's my lazy cat, Grumpy. So what is a broody hen? What am I even talking about? You've heard the term broody hen, you don't know what it is. A broody hen is an adult female chicken who wants to hatch some babies. There's something innate in their genetics. Mother Nature takes over, something triggers in a hen, and she just gets in the mood, and it is a mood. She gets in the mood to have some baby chicks. Yeah, there's some people say you can trigger them into becoming broody by leaving eggs in the nest boxes all the time. I have no idea if that works. A lot of hens will never go broody. It's kind of a breed characteristic. So, you know, I've got 3 hens that are broody right now out of 50. So, and some of my hens have never gone broody and never will. That's just, you know, each individual hen almost. Some breeds are better than others. My Morans are more likely to go broody than my White and True Blues. A lot more likely to go broody. But, so yeah, how can you tell if a hen is broody? Well, she'll be sitting in the nest box all day and all night. Some of them get mean. Yep. You stick your hand in there, beware. Beware. They're in mama mode already. They're protecting those eggs. I've been pecked. I got pecked twice by 2 hens today, checking eggs under them. It doesn't hurt all that much. Some hens just don't care, but they'll make some noises. They'll scream at you. They'll scream at you when you're bugging them. But that's the surefire way. Some of them are very nice though. You wouldn't even tell when you check for eggs underneath them. So the best way to tell is to go out after dark. That's the best time to do a lot of stuff with chickens, is after dark. But go out after dark if they're sitting on in that nest box, even if there are no eggs in it. But if they're sitting in a nest box all night long, then you can be pretty certain that hen has gone broody. All right, so now we know what a broody hen is and what signs to look for. What should you do with the broody hen? I currently have 3 broody hens in my 6 laying flocks. One of them's in here. And I often get a question, why don't you just let your broody hens hatch all your eggs for you, and you know, everything will be great. Well, yeah. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. That is always a good rule of thumb. My coops are not snake proof. So one of my experiences, the progeny of this flock, number 2, she was sitting on some eggs for about 2 weeks. I was about a week away from the hatch date, and I heard a ruckus in the coop right after dark, and I went out to investigate, and there was a black rat snake with 3 of her eggs already down the gullet. So yeah, I mean, do what you want to do. Don't let me give you unsolicited advice. I'll just share my experiences. But if you don't have a snake proof coop, you might lose them to snakes. And I've been seeing black rat snakes out here, so and my coops are not snake proof. I've just got chicken wire. A snake will get through chicken wire and get to your eggs. Mine are not, you know, mine are mobile, so they're not connected to the ground. You need to use hardware cloth, you know, the smaller hardware cloth. Also, my chicken wire doesn't go all the way around the cattle panel. So a snake could slide up and get in. So I would have had to have built my coops differently to make sure that they are snake proof. So that's one thing you got to consider. Another thing you need to consider is they're going to be in there 21 days, and the other hens are going to be getting in that nest box and laying new eggs. So this is you have to take this advice. You have to take this advice. Pick out the eggs you want the hen to hatch and mark them. Go grab a pencil, you know, put an X on one side, an O on the other side, do something to mark them so that you can tell the hatching eggs from the freshly laid eggs. I'm telling you, it's a little bit of work up front. You got to find a pencil and blah, blah, blah. But it's going to save you in the long run. Mark the eggs that you want to hatch, and that way when you go check them every day, you can just pick out the fresh eggs that don't have the markings on. So that would probably be my biggest tip if you want to let hens sit on some eggs. Okay, another thing you need to consider is not all hens are great mothers. I've had it happen where a hen hatched out eggs and then attacked and killed the baby chicks. I've had it happen that the other hens in the flock attacked and killed the baby chicks. So you need to be prepared for that possibility. One thing some people will do is when a hen goes broody, they will separate the hen out. You know, if you've got an extra coop or an extra pen somewhere, it doesn't have to be huge, but just move the hen and her eggs in there by themselves and let her go about her business. And then when they do hatch, all you have to worry about is the mother hen. Most mother hens are going to be perfectly fine parents, but every once in a while, you are going to get one that is not a great parent. And so in that case, be prepared with some type of heat source to take care of those baby chicks in case the mother is just not all there. All right, so that is some of my advice. We'll walk over here. Yeah, it's just not as easy as letting a broody hen hatch eggs. You know, the best case scenario would be they're all running away from me. Would be to separate that broody hen. Sometimes when you move a hen to a new place, that will break her from being broody. So you have to be aware of that. And that's also a way if you've got a broody hen and you don't want her to hatch anything. How do you break them from being broody? There have been all kinds of stuff. I think the best thing to do is to move them to a separate coop or separate area without a nest box in it. Some people would even put them in like a pet carrier like this one for a couple days without any nesting material in it. I've got extra hoop coops. So there's one behind here. So I've got extra hoop coops without any nest boxes in there. So, and even then she might just try to sit in the corner and maintain her broodiness. But it's not easy. Take the eggs out from under her as often as possible. Don't let her sit on any eggs overnight. You're just encouraging her. So breaking broody hens, you know, do a bunch of egg checks. And sometimes that'll speed up the process of them breaking out of it. But the best idea is just to put them in an area where there's nowhere for them to nest and be broody. So that's one way to break a broody hen. Yeah, broody hens can be a gamble. Many people have successfully just left them alone, left them in their current flock, the baby chicks and everything works out great. But that does not happen 100% of the time. Don't let me be a doom and gloom guy. Just know there we go. Know the pitfalls of trying to let a hen hatch some eggs. Depends on the size of the hen, but they'll do a dozen. You can let them sit on a dozen eggs. That's not a big deal. Probably more for bigger hens. And the reason why you want to mark them is you want them all hatching about the same time. So what I have done is a hen is broody, and I'll notice it, so that day I'll pick out, you know, I want to select which eggs she's hatching. So I would go ahead and pick out the eggs that I want her to sit on, not the one that she's sitting on. And then that night after dark, I would head out there and stick the eggs underneath her. Another little trick you might try is you've got a broody hen and you've got eggs in an incubator. I've done it before. You know, like 3-4 days before the eggs are due to hatch, take some out, put them under the broody hen, let her finish hatching them and raising them. And I have done that a few times. That is best done when I had them separated into their own little brooder area. But that's a good trick. Save you a little bit of electricity, and then you don't have to worry about the heat lamps and stuff. Because if the mother is raising the baby chicks, she's going to provide all the warmth. And so yeah, that's something I'll continue doing. Also, is taking eggs out of an incubator just 3 or 4 days before they're due to hatch. You don't want to do it the day of. You don't want to be disturbing the eggs that close to hatch date. So I'd say at least 3 days before they're due to hatch. And you don't want to put them under a hen who just went broody like a day or two ago. Wait for that hen to be sitting around for a good week. Make sure that her broodiness is stuck, because they probably have some innate sense to know, hey man, I've only been sitting on these eggs for like a week. They shouldn't be hatching now. I have no idea. I'm not a hen. What other tips and tricks can I give you? Maybe some of you have some experience out there. Some things that you've done to help you be more successful raising your baby chicks. It is convenient. It is convenient having a mother hen raise the baby chicks because you don't need the heat. She can't raise as many at a time. Well, yeah, she can. That's another thing. Once they do hatch, you can sneak more. So like, let's say she's sitting on 12 eggs and, you know, 8 of them hatch. Well, and you've got some still in the incubator that were due to hatch at the same exact time. So 8 of them hatch, and you just go out there and sneak, you know, another 8 or so underneath her. She can handle them and let her raise them. So broody hens can be very valuable. Be careful if you don't have a snake-proof chicken coop. Be careful about the other hens in the flock not accepting them. That happens more than you would think. Anthony and Roxanne experienced that. I've experienced that. I've experienced the mother hen not accepting her baby chicks. Only once though. Yep, only once. So that might not happen as often. Yeah, how many times have I... Yeah, so once out of however many times, 20, 30, I've let broody hens hatch some eggs and raise baby chicks. So not a very high percentage, but it can happen. Keep your eye out if something is going on with the baby chicks. Have a little brooder ready to go in case you gotta snatch those baby chicks away from a mother in that case. And one thing, you know, it's always nice to have an extra coop or an extra brooder area. It's always nice to have an extra space where you can put broody hens, you know, raise baby chicks. And so that's always another tip that you can use. So broody hens, why am I not doing it? I'm not snake proof. I really don't want to deal with it right now. I don't want to deal with it right now. It will happen again, and I will cue you in and take you along when it does happen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything, and take it easy.